nervous, if I'm being honest. I usually don't get nervous for these kind of things, but I'm nervous today just because we're first on scene, so I have a really big responsibility.
In terms of like preparing for an MCI, I don't know how much preparation there is you can truly do, just based on you don't know what it brings for you.
I think a lot of working paramedics would find being in one of those roles intimidating. Even if you have many years of experience under your belt, MCIs can happen on different scales. You know, sometimes an MCI could be 4 people. That might not seem as intimidating as 400 people.
It's a little nerve-wracking, especially I think by signing up to do this, we have to be the first crew going into it, I'm pretty sure, which is kind of a big deal because you set up everything. You are the people who are telling people where to go, who's in most need, where you are needed, and who needs the most help and assistance.
You're the delegators.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's very scary.
It's no different than walking into a call where you just have your call details. The only difference is you have multiple patients. And in this case, the allied resources are there. We'll have the support. My biggest fear is this is the last thing that we have to do as classmates.
Yeah.
This is our final project putting it all together. Yeah. So this might very well be the last opportunity that we have to work with our peers that we've spent the last 2 years with, as well as our faculty. So I think for me, the biggest fear is that after that, that's it, it's done.
Okay, so a best case scenario that I anticipate or expect from Pearson and Emily is that they're able to not only quickly recognize that this truly meets the criteria for a mass casualty incident, that they quickly realize the resources that they're going to need.
There you go. I feel like it's going to be a mix of everything.
Because I remember they had a similar thing here at the college, and it was, I believe, it was a rave or a dance party that had gone wrong. It'd be kind of cool if they touched on that topic again. I'm really not sure. It could be, I've heard people saying it could be a plane crash, could be a massive car pileup, it could be really anything that deals with mass casualties. And
I hope it's going to be challenging for us to do a critical thinking and not just like the easy one, like, oh, just check the BP or put some oxygen mask.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it. No, I hope that it's going to be some challenges to it. My biggest fear would be not able to help fully or not able to do what I already know or learned about it, and then later in my head I'll be like, oh shit, I would have done that. So no, this is I already know, why am I going blank?
Oh, well, a couple things. One, for nursing, one of the things that we have to do is we have to meet what's called an entry to practice competency to be a nurse in Ontario. A couple of the entry to practice competencies are that our students are trained to be responsive in an event such as this. Nurses are also trained to be collaborative and interprofessional. And so we need to know how to communicate with all the other disciplines. We need to speak a common language with them and be able to react.
Like I remember orientation day, like it was yesterday, when we're all walking in, first time seeing everybody's face.
But it's good. I like the stress, it helps me.
At the end of the day, we fall back to the roots. We know our standards, directives, we know the material, we know what needs to be done.
Kind of feeling like frozen in place, feeling like, you didn't study enough, you didn't work hard enough, and now that the event or, that time is here, you're just kind of stuck.
There isn't a single call that we go to that goes exactly the way we trained on it or by textbook. We train to this standard. The minute the bells ring, all standards go out the window. It's organized chaos, and we just have to make do with everything that we've got. And that's the reality across the emergency services. You can only train so much.
And being like, oh my goodness, like I made it. The first patient was an arterial bleed. That was probably the worst one. Then I believe the second patient that we got was an unconscious individual with a spine injury, non-responsive, massive head trauma. So there's a lot of pieces going on here. Possible fractured vertebrae. massive head injury, possible.
I was thinking more of sending them, getting to the ER, like an ICU, as soon as possible, like getting the physicians on hand. Like it might be live and die, as you said.
Yeah. I was hoping I would never be in a situation like that, but it, most likely is evident. And, getting that kind of practice to, be contributing in that emergency situation, I think, is what benefits a lot from those stems.
For sure. With the MCI, I feel like the fight and flight mode kind of kicks in, and it tells you that you can do it. You got the skills, you got all the knowledge you need. All you have to do is just put it out there with confidence. So it kind of gives me a boost with my self-confidence that I got it. Like, we can do it for sure.
I'm feeling pretty good so far about this. I think it's been going very well. Certainly with the last sim that we did with the APGAR and the baby is being transferred quite well into this sim. Recently, one of our patients was a patient who was pregnant, so checking on the baby and then phoning the proper registered staff to then look after said pregnancy was really good learning and very cooperative of what we were doing.
Feeling pretty good, pretty nervous before, not expecting what's going to happen or how to gonna deal with it, but I feel like that's just the real life nurse. They come under the pressure and they just go with the flow.
I didn't expect it to be, as visceral as it was now, but definitely, really bringing that learning and encompassing all the skills that, we have been learning these past semesters. So it's a bit of a thrill, a bit of a rush, which is what I'm enjoying. So
I'm fine. It was stressful. There's a lot of people, a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming. But I mean, you just kind of take it one step at a time, one patient at a time. Can't really do anything more than that. I think we did pretty well. I mean, considering. And yeah, that's kind of it. You can't really change what happened, right? So.
Pretty good. I think it went well. Yeah, tired. It was a lot of brain power. It was to the degree I was expecting it to be if it was any other scenario. The scenario wasn't necessarily what I had in mind, but the degree of injuries to patients and the different different type of patients we had, incorporating medical patients in. I did expect stuff like that.
The one thing that I really got out of the MCI this time around was that we were able to collaborate with another profession. Usually what we do is we do it within our own class. We don't have that interprofessional collaboration component to it, which I think is so important in any profession. And yeah, so I think going forward that's something that we should really look at and keep that collaboration amongst the different programs.
Come to Loyalist if you want to engage in a smaller community. If you want to engage in a college system and a program that is smaller in size but not in what it offers. We offer the same thing, but if you want to be engaged at more of a personal level with your faculty, instructors, and as a class, if you want to feel like you belong to a fire crew, if you feel like you want that kind of an educational style where we focus it more like what's a day in the life of a firefighter look like every day. We work together, we train together, we clean up together, we eat together. Everything is as if we were on a shift on the ground.